G'day guys, how's it going? Why does me, Mark, love these Dunlop D606s? There's quite a few reasons why. There is one possible con, but it could be a positive, just depending on the type of person you are, as to why you may not want to run these tyres. But let me first start by saying I have ran these tyres for over 8 years, running D606s, front and rear, on a DR650. Now that DR650 is not a commuter bike, I run it as an adventure bike. Whenever I'm using it, it's just for when I go and do adventures. Now here in Australia, to get to the really good outback places, you've got to do a lot of highway travelling. So that's high speed, bitumen, tar, blacktop, whatever you want to call it, riding. So the number one reason why I love these tyres is in that 8 years, over 32,000 kilometres that I've done on the bike, I've never had a puncture and I've never dented a rim. And I tell you, I've recently up in the Grampians, I did a big bang on my rim, but it just marred it a little bit. It didn't dent it. So that alone just says to me, they're a great bloody tyre. Now, the other thing is the wearability of them. It's a nylon rubber. I'm not going to get into what exact bloody the compound is, but it is a hard compound. I mean, you've got that soft rubbery stuff to it, but it's not like some of those real rubbery ones where they flex and whatever and give you that really superb bloody grip. So the compound that they're running gives you really good wear, and especially when you're doing the highway stuff at the high speeds, which will normally chew up your bloody tyres real quick, these things hang in there. So the best that I've got out of it is 5,000 Ks, and that was back in 2013. Me and a mate did a big run from here in Bendigo up and around to across the Simpson Desert and all the way back. So I got back and I still had tread left to go on this. So 5,000 kilometres, which is pretty bloody good, I reckon, out of a very aggressive knobby tyre. Now these are street legal, so you can, not a problem, no worries at all. They're DOT approved. Yeah, just an absolute brilliant thing. Why I wanted to do this video is because you just don't, nobody really says, oh, have you checked out, the new D606s that bloody Tom over there's running? They look all right, don't they? What do you reckon? Blah, blah, blah. These things have been around for so long. It's like the DR650. This is part of the con or a positive. When you pull up in a group of riders, nobody comes over to your bike and goes, oh yeah, so how's those D606s going? I'm thinking about getting a set, and people are talking about them. Nobody talks about them. So if you're happy to not have people come over, it's a positive. But if you want people coming over, looking at your bike and talking about your tyres, then it's a con. Now, I'll tell you, when these puppies are sitting on your motorbike, they look awesome. They give your bike a real mean, bloody, really cool looking. And I love it when I get the fresh ones and put them on the Max. It's just like, man, that looks awesome. Rightio, I know. Mark, what about grip? They grip perfectly bloody well. Sand, dirt, rocks, highways, roads, roundabouts, in the wet. I've never had an issue where I've felt that the tyres have been not good enough. When it's raining and I'm travelling and I'm going to go through a roundabout, so on a roundabout you go around and it's got the curve around and there's grease and oil and all that kind of bullshit, I've got knobbies on. I'll ride to the conditions. I won't try and be a sports bike rider zipping around a bloody thing. Of course you're gonna slip out like most bloody tyres would. So what I do, let me get me bloody short lookers on. So in the DR650 manual, it says on the front tyre, if you're solo riding, it's 22 PSI, or dual riding or single riding and you're all loaded up with all your camp gear, 25 PSI. I run 25 PSI all the time, with an exception, so hang on for that. In the rear, solo is 25, and if you're dual riding, 29. I run 30 PSI all the time. And majority of the time when I'm out on the tracks, especially around here and all that kind of stuff, you know, I'll normally just keep them at that thing. If I'm wanting to gun it a little bit more, I will then let down the pressures. Or if I'm going to go sand riding, I'll let the pressures down. Now, if you're running like pressures like that, and you're out there and you're with mates or whatever, and you're just going, oh, I'm just not confident enough. And I get like that, you know, and you're zipping around the corners and all that, and you can feel it starting to twitch, and oh, trust me, let the pressure down on your tyres, and you will be a totally new, confident rider. Now, the beauty with these particular tyres, I don't run rim locks. I've never ran rim locks. I've never had them spin. I've never had them bust bloody tube valves or anything like that. They're really good, strong sidewall on them. So, and you can actually run the pressures down. Now, obviously, as you know, if you run your pressures down low, that's when you can get pinch flats and all that kind of stuff, and dint rims. So you got to pick and choose when you do it. I would drop the front down to, oh, what do I drop that down to? That's probably about, I can get it down to 15. I haven't tried any lower. I'm sure you would be able to, but I'd go down as far as 18. And on the rear, 15 PSI, no problems. And if you drop those tyres down to that pressure, trust me, you'll be a new, confident rider. It's day and night. Rightio, so what do these puppies cost? I bought this set off mxstore.com.au, and I paid $290.85 delivered here in Bendigo, so $290. But I was telling Pete, and he said, Mark, you check out bloody Essendon. It used to be Raceway Motorcycles down at Essendon. They've now changed their name to Essendon Motorcycles and Mowers. They used to be a Suzuki deal, and they got rid of all that, and now they just have the Royal Enfields, and they have Husqvarnas and do a whole... They actually even have the bloody Jay Leno's products in their store. Anyway, he said, check out their online store. They've got some bloody cheap prices, and he's bought, doesn't matter, I'm rambling here. So anyway, I checked it out. So $290 for this, but if I had gone through them, it would have been $262 delivered here. So that's a $30 saving. Now you can even save more. So if you're down in Melbourne, that's $25 shipping costs. So if we were to take that off, that's going to recalculate it to $237 for a set of tyres for your motorbike. Bloody crazy. So there you go. It always, what do you call it? It's always of value to shop around online to see where you can get the best prices. Now, obviously, if you're not going to be putting these tyres on yourself, which I'm going to be doing that myself, you know, you just go to your local motorcycle shop and just get the tyres there. They're going to be not too much steer, and normally they don't charge you for fitment. You just take your bike down there and they'll chuck them on for you. Right, so these come in, these Dunlop D606s for the rear, they come in a 17-inch and an 18-inch, and on the front, they only come in the 21-inch. And I do believe, if I have a quick look, just for shits and giggles, there's two profiles. So the 21 inches are a 90 by 90/90 21 inch. And then the rear, so in the 17, which is what I run, is a 130/90. And then in the 18 inch, it's a 120/90. So it's just a little narrower. And they also have the 130, which is like what this one is, a little bit fatter. So in the 18 inch, you've got two choices, whereas the 17, you just have the one choice, and I'm bloody happy with that choice. Right, there you go, guys. I just thought I'd give the old Dunlop D606s a bit of an advertisement. I'm not making any money out of this. Obviously, Dunlop's not sponsoring me. Essendon, what? I just thought, why not? They're a bloody good tyre. They need to get a bit of promotional stuff out there, because a lot of new people, and you see, you know, the Tractionators and the new tyres that come out, everybody gets a bit hyped up on them, and that's the other thing when you're talking to people. Some people like to blame tyres for their misfortunes or less ability of riding. I'm only an average rider. I've gotten a lot better through the years. Basically, it all comes down to the rider, not really the tyre. There are exceptions to it. I most probably get a lot of comments in the thing about this, but if you do, leave them in there. Righto, guys, that's it. I'll stop rambling on. Remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.